When the glasses are on, the war has begun. Just when I thought it was out, he pulls me back in. I was about to do my video on why Milo deserves to have 30 years in a federal prison, and guess who beat me to the punch? For those who don't know, Milo Yiannopolous is a gay conservative, which I swear sounds like an oxymoron. He's actually an insult to the LGBTQ community, as he recently decided to launch an organized attack on the fierce and original actor Leslie Jones, who has been getting some serious shit over simply starring in the new Ghostbusters. Look, Milo, you can either be gay or conservative. You can't be both, so make your mind up. From the look of things, you'll probably choose the latter. Another fun fact, I recently found out that Milo Yiannopolous was not, in fact, the actor who played Starburns. The Rickhead obviously supports him, but enough chit-chat. Let's get right into the new video. Still over dramatic!
Ladies and gentlemen, we are entering a new era of censorship.
I know, right? Trump is the Republican nominee.
You see, when we were kids, we were allowed to pull little girls' pigtails and toss them to the ground. And as long as the teacher wasn't looking, nobody gave a shit.
Right off the bat, the Rickhead just decides to advocate for the abuse of young girls, who wouldn't be so helpless if they weren't indoctrinated into gender roles by media, advertising, and children's toys.
We all laughed, and I'm sure behind the mud and half-embedded wood chips, those girls were laughing too.
Okay, I'm not one to kink-shame women, but being abused in that sort of fashion would probably not come off as a simple prank to them.
But it's not all fun and games anymore. You see, we're entering a world where we're all going to be too afraid to tell it like it is without the fear of being put in Twitter jail. That's right. I said Twitter jail. And while I don't know what that is...
Okay, for starters, it doesn't exist. And second, it doesn't exist.
I'm pretty sure it involves anal fisting.
I had to look this up on Urban Dictionary, and sorry, dickhead, but Twitter jail is not a term for anal fisting.
Let's cut to the quick. This is all about hatred of the alt-right.
The alt-right is, of course, what many people generalize the entirety of the GOP to be like. We imagine that they're all like William Baldwin, Donald Trump, Mike Pence, Sarah Palin, Milo, Moon Man, but we tend to forget that there are at least 10 good Republicans in America.
The alt-right, which combines the spirit of Biff Tannen with the body of Carson Kressley.
Hey, you leave my man crush Monday crush Carson Kressley out of this.
They're being bullied over our American right to be bullies.
They're not being bullied. They're being corrected. Because I think, and what we all should think, is that the internet does not deserve to be filled with harassment and negative Nancys. Because what we want, what we deserve, is for there to not be mean people on the internet.
Milo Yiannopolous is this generation's Nelson Mandela.
Dude, Nelson Mandela just died. Way to desecrate his grave, ass clown.
Here is a man who started in the critical hell of starring in the superior American Godzilla and climbed his way up to superstardom on Breitbart.com.
Okay, while I'm pretty sure that Milo also loves musical theater, I think that you're confusing Milo Yiannopolous with Matthew Broderick's character from the 1998 American film Godzilla. What a giant research failure. Also, I'm sorry, but Breitbart is no Kotaku.
He's their biggest superstar since the Sad Dog and the Anti-Animal Abuse ad, which still remains the most uplifting main page feature on the website.
Not for long. We're trying desperately to get in contact with the FBI and President Barack Obama to have them shut down Breitbart.com so we can avoid any more offensive and psychopathic journalists such as Milo. Brianna Wu tried to do it with 8chan, we can do it with them. Speaking of which, did you know that Brad Jones follows Brianna Wu on Twitter? Nice try, Brad. You're still a rapist. And you can only be a true Twitter follower of Brianna Wu if you are also very vocal and supportive of the anti-Gamergate movement and the third wave of feminism like Brianna Wu. You can't just follow anyone you damn please. That'd be stupid.
We practice a different kind of film criticism today, folks. One in which if you don't refer to the lead actresses as fat, ugly, or possibly a man, how are we supposed to know if you liked the movie or not?
Obviously, you're stuck in 2009. Gone are the days where reviews were nothing but rape jokes and women being chained up in basements. Now we have more refined review shows, like Loose Cannon, Folding Ideas, and of course, Brows Held High. Hey Brad Jones, I think you could learn a lot from Kyle Calgren. Just follow him on Twitter and ask him to give you some pointers.
And don't get me started on how these hate-baiting tweets violated Twitter's guidelines on inciting hate speech. I mean, I know these guidelines actually exist, but if it's not on the main page, then they don't count.
Alright, people told me on my last video that the Rickhead was just parody, but how can he be satire when he spot on encapsulates the ideals of the MRA movement?
And how could Milo possibly be accused of bigotry when he's gay? I'm sure he meant fat as a compliment, like in the classic Fat Beach.
You defend Milo because he's gay, but I bet your transphobic bigot ass wouldn't defend Caitlyn Jenner when she made homophobic comments on Ellen.
Some folks on the right might not want gays to marry, but I'll be goddamned if they don't want them to trash talk Leslie Jones.
No one wants to trash talk Leslie Jones, except for ignorant tools like you and Milo. People call her one known racist and send her pictures of monkeys, but they are completely wrong about her because you shouldn't bully someone. I mean, you are just so disrespectful to actresses of color. Why can't we have more celebrities like Jared Leto be nicer to actresses of color?
I say to thee, free Milo! Because without his voice, where could we find vitriolic comments on Twitter?
I actually know a great place on Twitter that you might like. It's called The Entirety of Fucking Twitter.
And what he said may be construed as mean-spirited, but the other day someone said that my haircut looks like one of the extras from the green room.
I'd say it looks more like the poop emoji. Fitting, because you're a shithead.
I cried for hours. I mean, I too am a victim here.
A person who makes fun of people but can't take insults? Well, isn't that special?
And it's not the original tweeter's fault if his fan base sends pictures of monkeys and asses to celebrities.
That's just as bad as attacking the Keebler elves for their sexual orientation. Get to your point already.
When you're that busy making a career out of trolling, you can't be expected to realize that some of your fan base might be trolls too.
I think Milo realizes that all of his followers are trolls. Or at least most of them. They're just going about to celebrities with a lot more time on their hands. They're bringing cybercrime, they're sending rape threats, and some, I assume, are good people who just need a stern lecture.
Look, we all remember the controversy when I lectured McDonald's for discontinuing the Big and Tasty. It's not my fault that you, my fans, responded by sending them caseloads of old porn and moldy flapjacks.
No, that is your fault. When you have a fan base, it's your job to make sure they don't get out of hand and do something to make you look bad. And they should only do something when you do the same. It's elementary.
I expect my audience to embody the same values of dignity and respect that I do in these videos.
That's a giant stretch.
You fucking cum guzzlers.
That's your fan base's name? Well, I guess it's better than my fan base calling themselves the Fred Reich. Damn, now I'm saying it.
But the real story is Twitter's complete hypocrisy in banning Milo's account and still letting other hateful tweets stay up. As we all know, you can't delete accounts little by little. It's all or nothing.
This is not actually that bad of a statement. There are many people who still, to this day, are on Twitter that have attacked the anti-Gamergate movement and have not apologized. People like Jontron Jafari. He posted a pornographic comic that featured 5 guys fucking Zoe Quinn, said that Quinn's personal life was not worth making a big fuss about, and used the word retarded multiple times. After that, Maker actually had him make a series that promoted The Force Awakens. That is capital B bullshit. Despite his following, his account on Twitter should have been banned, Maker should have cut all ties with him, his girlfriend Nicole should have escaped an obviously abusive relationship, and his landlord should have kicked him out of his New York apartment. I mean, it's not like he cares about money anyways. Just look on his Twitter. He's throwing pennies into a wastebasket.
And don't give me this Twitter is a private business bullshit. I didn't understand it when I got kicked out of a restaurant for calling a busboy a retarded tickle queer.
Yeah, I'm not touching that. That's a godlike insult.
And I don't understand it now. Here's a comparison you'll understand.
I didn't understand when you compared Ghostbusters to the Three Stooges, but go ahead.
I was arrested for drunk driving. And when I was pulled over, I looked that cop square in the face and I said, no! You cannot arrest me because there are still unsolved murders!
Despite how incompetent they all are, the cops were in the right. I mean, I can understand if you were black, because then they were obviously racially profiling you, but you were just a cis white male drunk on malt liquor who thinks that they are above minorities.
When every person who breaks the rules is arrested, then, and only then, can you arrest me!
I hope the cop instead looked on your YouTube page and then arrested you for hate speech, just like they should do with Milo. When Milo talked at DePaul University a couple months ago, he was immediately interrupted by a bunch of people on campus who wanted him to stop. Instead of just going outside and just not going to it because it's not their thing, they said, no, we are through with your hate speech and opinions. And you know what? A citizen's arrest would have been the icing on the cake for me.
And you know what happened? I went to jail, and there was anal fisting.
Well, at least there's one good cop in America. Also, why do I have the feeling that I should watch that one movie Steven Universe referenced?
My name is the Rickhead, and I say it because you've been banned from Twitter.
I know I haven't, because I'm more thoughtful, kind, and progressive than you. So suck my 4.5-inch cock. A bit of a follow-up to my last video. I've been DMing my followers to see if they can find any more incriminating evidence that we can use against Brad Jones so that Indiegogo will delete his campaign. So far I haven't really had any credible sources, and the only person who ever really responded with something was this weird guy. I don't know, I think his name was like Jack Norwell or something. I don't know, he sounded like a schizo. Anyway, I hope you go to the mythical Twitter jail yourself, Rickhead. Save the social commentary for real, intelligent YouTube personalities like Kaylee Kill.